Hey guys. Blah, blah. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh. I missed you guys. I miss you guys so much. So for starters, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or whatnot. Also, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out the rest of the content, and if you like what you see, what do I tell them, y'all, when they like what they see? Subscribe. So this is a story time, but before we get into the story time, we are going to be introducing our sponsors for today. So we're going to introduce our sponsors, and then we're going to get right back into the story time. Hey guys, so today's sponsorship is from no other than Aura. Thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you guys have not heard about Aura, which I don't know whether you guys are living under a rock or what, but I talked about Aura in my last story time. Now, Aura is a company that specializes in keeping your information private and safe on the online internet. Today's day and age, it is very easy to gain access to people's personal information, to leak it for profit, for gain, to sell it onto the dark web, and so much more. Last video, I told you guys about that I searched up my email address, my YouTube email address on Aura, and guess what popped up? A literal website popped up giving misinformation about how many views I get on my videos, how much money I make, and they also had a couple of my YouTube story times on their channel and was profiting from it. Once I seen that, y'all, I wasn't happy. Like, I just was not happy because, like, why are you copying the queen? You know what I mean? So Aura is definitely special for today's video because Aura is basically going to go into the system and make sure that it gets all those misinformation and all the personal information off the internet and save your personal information. Now, I told you guys this before, and I'm going to tell you guys this again. If you guys go look up your information, if you guys search up your name, if you guys search up your phone number, all these other types of informations will pop up. There's been times where I've went and searched up different things, and like so many different other information popped up, my cell phone number and so much more. If you guys are like me and you guys want your information private and you guys do not want your information on the internet and not to be doxxed so easily, Aura is definitely going to help you with that. When you guys see your information on the internet, such as your phone number, your address, and your email address, and all these different things, basically what is going on is that data brokers end up hacking into your system when you guys fill out little stuff on the internet and end up selling your information to other hackers and other websites, and basically sells your information onto the dark web and so much more. That is how your information is getting leaked. As stated beforehand, AT&T literally revealed that 73 million of their former customers' information got leaked onto the internet, and their phone records were being exposed, their phone numbers were being exposed, and all that stuff was going on. So I definitely think, I know you guys have heard me talk about Aura several times, but if you have not given Aura a chance, I definitely think that you should give Aura a chance. The good thing about Aura is that Aura gives you a 2-week free trial to see if you like it, see if you like what's going on their website, see if they do a good job of cleaning up your information, and yeah, just seeing if you like it, like getting a feel of it. I love, because it gives you 2 weeks to just, you know, indulge in a website for free or whatnot. I am definitely going to leave all the information to the website down below. If you guys end up checking Aura out, y'all let me know if y'all like it. And thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring today's part of my story time. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so let me explain myself before I get it started. If you guys do not know, I live in Houston. Well, I don't really live in Houston. I live on the outskirts of Houston, but I'm gonna just say Houston because a lot of y'all that don't live in Houston would not even know what place I'm saying if I was to say the name of the place of the city that I live in. So I'm just gonna say Houston, and you guys know that we had like a little mini hurricane, and Texas ain't prepared for nothing. Bitch, Texas ain't prepared for the winter storm. Bitch, Texas ain't prepared for nothing. Okay, so literally all of our lights were out. Guys, my room lights legit just turned on today, and it is currently, I think it is July 14th, and the hurricane happened about a whole week ago, like 7 days ago. I've literally been having no lights in my room for 7 days. We've been in the dark. If you guys follow my socials, you guys know, and that's why I always tell you guys to follow my socials so you guys can be updated on things, on situations and stuff like that, because I know not everybody knows that I'm from Houston, or even remembers that I live in Houston. And people were like writing me like, girl, where the videos? I'm like, oh my God, like I cannot believe that y'all are asking me for videos when you guys see us all over the news with no electricity. But then I thought about it and I'm like, not everybody know I'm from Houston. But then I thought about it and I'm like, why are y'all asking for video? Oh my God, why is it blurry? Sorry y'all. I thought about it, I was like, why y'all asking for video? Like, bitch, I know why does it keep blurring, y'all? Oh no, this is not funny. This is not funny. What's going on? It keeps blurring. I don't know why. But yeah, I thought about it and I'm like, well, bitch, I will ask for videos too, because bitch, I like watching me as well, and bitch, I'm me. So let me give y'all what y'all came here for, and let's get into the story time. So boom. So y'all, this story time took place this year on one of our trips. Now, if you guys remember, and I know you guys been asking for part 2 of the Morocco vlog, one day y'all, I am just going to sit down and edit the part 2 of the Morocco vlog and push it out for you guys. I'm so sorry y'all. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to my vlogs, I have major imposter syndrome, and I sometimes feel like my vlogs are not good enough to be put out there. But I really need to stop having imposter syndrome, because if I say I'm gonna do something, I need to give it to y'all. So oh my goodness, what's going on? Like, for real, no, it's not fun. I don't know what's going on, but my camera keeps blurring and then coming together, then blurring, then coming together. Mind y'all, I haven't used my camera in over 2 weeks. Also, don't pay attention to my nails. I know my nails look atrocious right now. Don't pay attention to my nails. I'm gonna take them out soon. But yeah, my camera keeps blurring in and coming out, blurring in and coming out. I don't know what's going on. I haven't used this camera in a week, so yeah. But yeah, like, so I never posted part 2 of my Morocco vlog or whatnot, but I definitely have a story time from that vlog. And if you guys have not watched the story time that I did with Awale on the worst review or worst review that we've been to, I'm going to leave that video in the description box down below. But I do have a story time that goes into the trip about how we met this crazy boy. So let's get straight into it. We're gonna name him, what are we gonna name this boy? We're gonna name him Ayo. We're gonna name him Ayo. If you guys been watching Love Island UK, then y'all know who Ayo is. And if you guys watch Love Island UK, you know that Ayo is Nigerian and he's Yoruba. And this boy that we met on the trip was Nigerian and he was Yoruba too. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like Ayo. So we're gonna give the boy that I met in Morocco, we're gonna call him Ayo, okay? So let's get straight into it. So this is, if you guys did not watch the Morocco vlog, we stayed in Agadir for the first week of us being in Morocco, and then we went to Marrakesh for the second week of us being in Morocco. And if you guys know, Marrakesh is like damn near where everybody goes to visit whenever they go to Morocco. Like, Marrakesh is like the city, that's where everybody goes and they stay. I think yeah, that's like where everyone goes. Agadir, people don't really go to Agadir like that, because Agadir is more so like, Agadir is not like a city. Like, Agadir is more so like, how can I describe Agadir? It's not city-like. It's like more where people live. And I'm not saying people didn't live in Marrakesh. Of course people lived in Marrakesh, but Agadir is more like beachfronts type of vibes. Like, Agadir has beaches. Marrakesh does not have no beaches. And y'all know, I wanted some beach pictures. My friends, we all wanted some beach pictures, so we stayed in Agadir for a little bit. It's like more on the chill end. Now, Marrakesh is where like all the clubs are. Agadir had clubs too, but like Marrakesh got like the clubs that more people our age would like, if you get what I mean. Like, more of the younger generation clubs. Like, it was fun. So yeah, so we decided to go to the club one day, and y'all, this was probably the best night in Morocco. And oh my God, like, I be seeing people on TikTok saying that they've been to Morocco and they had a bad experience. And bitch, I just be like, I cannot relate, because that's the best country that I've ever been to. Y'all, if y'all want a good laugh, Y'all need to go to Morocco. Y'all need to go to Africa if y'all want a good laugh. It was the experience was unmatched. Like, Moroccans are funny. Like, I'm thinking, oh, this is a conservative type of country. This is like a very, like, you know, this is a more, you know, this is a Muslim country. I'm thinking this is about to be, you know, like just like a cool little trip. I'm thinking everybody about to be following Allah. Bitch, nobody was following Allah. The only time that they were following Allah was when it was the morning and everybody was lining up in the city to pray and stuff. But after everybody got done praying and stuff, it's like everybody lost their brains after they got done praying in the city. Like, Moroccans are crazy. Like, they be on the bullshit. They be on the tomfoolery. Like, it was so fun being out there, bro. So let's get back to the story. So we end up going to one of the clubs. And we got into the club, and as soon as we get, first of all, they're charging more than what we thought they were going to charge. And I low-key did not even want to go in there, but I ended up seeing some black girls leaving the club, and we're like, hey, like, how is the club? And they're like, the club is good. They're playing African music. So once I heard that, I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Like, let's go in. You know what I mean? Because we ended up going to some other club before we got to this club, and they were not playing African music, but when they were playing African music, they were like remixing it. Like, they were like, y'all ever watch a YouTuber's video, and let's say that they're playing Body by Summer Walker, they'll put like, you know, in order for us to not get monetized, they'll put like different beats and stuff, but you know that it's Body by Summer Walker. That's what they were doing, and we weren't with it because we were just looking like, we're in Africa. Like, I understand that we're not on the west side of Africa. I understand we on like the more of the Arabian type of Africa, you know what I mean? But we're still in Africa. Why are y'all remixing African music? Like, we didn't like it. So we ended up going to this club, and we seen some black girls, some African girls from the UK, and we were like, are they playing our music? Like, are they playing African music? And they were like, yeah, like, they're playing African music. They're not remixing it. So we're like, bet. But then we got to the door. The guy was charging a lot. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just pay. Like, you know, we already here, let's just pay and let's just go in, right? So we end up going in. As soon as we go in, the bar is literally on the side of the door, like as soon as we go in, right? So we get inside, and I'm like, do y'all want to buy some shots? Because we were sober. Like, we were not drunk or nothing like that. We were sober, and I wanted to turn up. So I'm like, hey, y'all want to go to the bar and buy some shots? We already here, like, you know, let's go. So we get to the bar, and we start ordering shots or whatnot. I think we all order like about 2 shots each. So we get our shots, and then we start walking around the club. Now the club is packed. They're playing all types of music. They're playing African music. They're playing French Montana. You guys know that French Montana is Moroccan, so they were playing French Montana. They were playing hip hop. They were playing pop. Like, they were playing all types of different music, right? You know, we just walking through the club. We peeping the scenery out, and then we end up like getting to this one area of the club, and we're just standing around looking. We're looking at the club, you know, just looking at the ambiance. We end up drinking. I see this boy from the corner of my eye, and I could tell that he likes me. And me, I'm a very like, which I really do need to stop, because I be seeing so many stories of like girls getting like hurt or like killed or shot at or punched or something because a guy is trying to make advances towards them and they ignore or they say no. And I'm like one of them girls that I'm gonna ignore you. Like, I'm not even gonna like even play into it. But I really had to think about it. I'm like, girl, you need to stop doing that. Like, you can't do that. So this one guy from the corner of my eye, I always know when somebody likes me. He keeps looking at me and talking to his friend. Like, it's a white guy. He's with like a light-skinned friend. Like, the boy looked black or something. And he's talking to me, and like he's looking at me, and then he's like whispering to his friend, and his friend ends up looking at me. And so I'm guessing my friend that I was with, T, at the time, she was like, oh girl, he like you. And I'm like, can we move? Like, I'm not with the shits. Like, if I don't want to, first of all, I don't talk to white boys. Like, and I know, like, I don't talk to white boys. Like, they're just not my preference. Like, if I talk to a white boy, he has to be fine as fuck. And I don't know, I don't really talk to white boys. Like, he has to have a certain type of, not only do he have to be fine, if I talk to a white boy, he has to have a certain type of aesthetic to him. And that boy was just not giving what I was putting down. Like, he just wasn't giving. So I just was like, can we move? And she's like, yeah. She was laughing. So we end up moving to another corner of the club, right? So we get to the other corner of the club, and at this point in time, we're like in the middle of the club, and we're in people's, like, we're like in front of people's section. The way this club was set up, it's not like sections. The way the sections are set up in this club is not like how sections are like in the United States. You know, most in the United States, it's like nothing but sections in majority of these clubs nowadays. That's not how it was in this club. They have like the main, and I wish America took notes, because not every club needs nothing but sections. Like, the way this club was set up was that there's sections like around, and then there's a big dance floor for people who do not get sections. So there's like a huge dance floor in the middle of the club, and then on the sides of the wall there's sections, which I think most clubs should look like that, because not everybody wants a section, you know what I mean? So we're literally sitting in the middle of the dance floor, but we're standing in front of these black girl sections, and they're just looking at us. And you know, like, I'm just looking at them like, why are they looking at us? Like, they just kept staring at us, y'all. So I off rip, I'm not gonna hold y'all, I had an attitude. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I had a little attitude, because I just kind of felt like, I don't know, like, I felt like too much was going on. It was so many people in that club, and I felt like I wasn't enjoying myself, you know what I mean? This one girl that I could tell she's Moroccan, she ends up passing me up. And one thing about people in Morocco is they do not have manners. Like, they do not know how to say excuse me or nothing. Like, they will literally just bum rush you in the club. Like, I had peeped that, mind you. This is our second week in Morocco, so I had already peeped by then that they do not know how to say excuse me. They do not have manners out there. And I know some people might watch and be like, I'm from Morocco, we have manners. I'm just saying my experience. Like, they didn't have manners. They just used to be walking past you quickly, and like, they just move, like, they move really quick. So when the girl hit me, mind you, I still got the drink in my hand. It's towards the end, but like, I still got the I got my drink in my cup, like how Kurt Cobain said, you feel me? So when she pushed me, the drink kind of like flipped out a little bit. So I pushed her back. That was just mind you, when she pushed me, y'all, she did not say excuse me. Like, she literally pushed me, and like, she kept walking, and the push was hard, y'all. Like, it wasn't on some like it was like I moved. And y'all know me, bitch, I'm very strong. So and mind you, this girl's skinny. Like, when I say skinny, I mean skinny mini. This girl's small. So for her to move my big ass, yeah, you can do it, put your back into it, bitch. She put her back into it when she pushed me. So bitch, I pushed her back. Like, you're not about to be pushing me. So I pushed her back. So she turns around and she's like, excuse me? And I said, excuse me? The fuck? Like, what do you mean excuse? Like, bitch, the fuck? Like, you want to say excuse me now? Bitch, you should have said excuse me 2 minutes ago. What are you talking about? He's like, why did you hit me? Why did you hit me? I said, because you hit me. Like, are you dumb? Like, I just start going off for her. I'm like, because you hit me. Like, are you dumb? And she was like, look, calm down. Like, she starts telling me to calm down. Mind you, like, her guy friend is like behind her. I think he was like gay or whatnot. So he starts telling her like, come on, like, it's okay, like, come down. So like, mind you, he's holding her arm. So he's trying to like pull her away from me, because we're sitting right in front of each other's face screaming, and everybody's looking at us. Like, everyone in that area is looking at us, and everybody's like just basically looking to see if like something's gonna pop off or if something's gonna happen. So she's like, look, let me tell you something, calm down. Like, she starts like doing like that, and I said, bitch, you calm down. Like, y'all, I'm over here doing this in Morocco. Bitch, I didn't want to go to Morocco jail. Why was I doing that? Like, I'm like, what? Why was I doing that? Like, I was screaming at her. Like, I was like, bitch, you calm down. I was like, you hit me, you dummy. You hit me. And like, her guy friend is like trying to like pull her, and she ends up like yanking back, and she yells again, calm down. Like, she doing that in front of my face. And I said, I'm not. Mind you, at this time, y'all, I didn't already drop the cup. I done already dropped the cup on the floor. That's how much I was into this argument. I done forgot about my drinky drink. And I was clapping in her face, and I was like, I'm not calming down. Like, don't tell me to calm down, babe. Like, you push me. You bitch, you calm down. So At this point in time, the friend, he ends up grabbing her for the last time and he ends up pulling her away. So everybody's looking. My friends are like, what happened? Because my friends did not see her push me. My friends just chimed in when we were yelling at each other. So my friends are like, what happened? And I end up telling them what happened. I'm irritated, y'all. Mind y'all, might I add, I was already irritated before she hit me. So now I'm really irritated because I'm kind of feeling like, what did we pay for? Like, what did we pay for? Like, I'm not feeling the vibe of this club. Like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm just not feeling it, right? So after that, like, after the fact, you know, we're still standing in front of the sections of the black girls. They're like just all looking at me and it's irritated me some more because I'm like, the fucking argument is over. Why are y'all looking at me? Like, I just did not get, like, they were already looking at me before the girl came and pushed me. So why are y'all still looking at me? Like, bitch, yes, I'm pretty. Why you keep looking at me? Like, it was just making me so annoyed. Like, all jokes aside, it was making me annoyed. So after the fact, this one boy, now this is where Io comes into play. So Io comes up to my friend T and he ends up start talking to my friend T or whatnot. Oh, hold on, let me get some drinky drink, y'all. I'm thirsty. Io, he starts talking to T and he's like talking to her and I'm already looking like, okay. So he's talking. I off rip knew that Io was Nigerian. We know our people. So I off rip knew that Io was Nigerian. So about, I'm gonna say a good 5 minutes go by and he's still talking to T. And so at this point, I'm like, is he gonna buy us a drink or what? And I know some people in the comments about to be like, he is not entitled to buy y'all a drink, da da da. But y'all, that's just how our African men are. Like, I'm not even being funny. I'm not trying to bluff. Like, that's just how majority of Nigerian men are. Like, they are, if you're in a club with your friends and they approach one of you, they're gonna buy everybody a drink. You know what I mean? So I'm just like waiting at this point because I'm irritated and I'm like, is he gonna buy us a drink or what? Like, I didn't say this, but like, I'm thinking this in my head. Like, is he gonna buy drinks? Because he's been talking to T for a hot minute now. So after like 5-10 minutes of him talking to T, I end up telling Aule, I'm like, bro, is he gonna buy a drink or what? Like, what is he waiting on? Like, is he gonna buy us a drink or what? And it's actually crazy because right when I said it, T turned to us and was like, he said that we should come to the bar so he can buy us drinks. So I'm like, yeah, yes, finally, yes. Because I needed a drink, y'all. Like, I needed to be lit. I needed to be drunk. Like, I was just not feeling the vibe of the club. Like, I just needed, and mind you, the music was good. Like, people were dancing and jumping up and down, but I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I wasn't feeling it, especially after that girl pushed me. Like, after that girl pushed me, and like, I kid you not, y'all, them bitches was still looking at me, and it was making me so angry. Like, why do y'all keep looking at me? Mind you, they were not looking at Awole, they were not looking at T, they just kept looking. Like, they were sitting in their section like this, looking at me like this. What the fuck are y'all looking at? Like, do I have something on my face? So we end up going to the bar and this boy buys so many shots for us. Like, he buys us so many different rounds of shots and we're just drinking. So he ends up telling us that him and his friends got a section, but he said that his friends ended up leaving the section, and so he wants us to come back to his section. So we're like, yeah, cool. Before we go back to his section, we take a couple of shots at the bar or whatnot, and we're dancing. At this time now, they start playing African music, so I'm feeling a little bit better. Like, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm getting a little drunk at this point now. Like, I'm already on my like 3rd shot at this time, so I'm getting a little drunk. I ain't gonna hold y'all, I'm getting a little drunk. So, you know, we dancing to African music and stuff like that, and the boy, he didn't know that I was African, which is not surprising. A lot of African boys do not know that I'm African, but a lot of African American boys know that I'm African. I don't know why, I don't know how, but that it's always like that. So when I started dancing, he was like, what do you know about that? Like, what do you know about this music? And I'm like, boy, I'm African. And he's like, are you dead ass? I'm like, yes. And he's like, oh my God, what are you? I'm like, I'm Nigerian and Kenyan, what are you? And he's like, no, I said, what's your name? I asked him what his name was, and the name that he gave me was like a Yoruba name. So I'm like, oh, you're Yoruba? He's like, oh my God, yeah, I'm Yoruba, what are you? And I end up telling him what I am. I end up telling him that I'm a Robo. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the tribe Robo in Nigeria is not really a common tribe. So there's some Nigerian people that don't even know what a Robo is. Like, they get so confused whenever I say it. So I could tell that he was getting a little confused, and I'm like, look at you over here thinking that you're African, you don't even know what a Robo is. So he starts laughing, and he ends up introducing himself to Awole, and you know, Awole is Nigerian too, so he ends up talking to her. T, our other friend T, she is not Nigerian, she's African American. So he's just talking to us about where we're from. It's me and Awole about where we're from and stuff. And he's like, wow, like, that's so cool. And then he ends up telling us that he's from the UK and that he visited here for a couple of days just on some like vacation shit, just to get his mind off of things, and that he is flying back to the UK, I think the next day, right? Keep that in mind. So after all that, we end up dancing to, I think, Davido. One of Davido's song came on, and we end up all dancing. All of us is dancing. T, our little baby T, our little African-American T, she's African-American, but she's African at heart. We be putting our babe on. Like, she be dancing. Like, T is just the life of the party. It don't matter if she hanging around Mexicans, she gonna turn up type shit. Like, that's how T is. So we all dancing. Y'all, tell me why Ayo like gets behind me and like is trying to like put his print up on my butt. Bitch, I get the dancing. Bitch, I hopped up. I said, hey, Ayo, calm down, babe, calm down. Like, I'm looking like, mind y'all, like, that was my first straw. I was like, mind you, I just played it off. Like, I just danced and I moved to the side, and I'm like, like, the fuck, like, you went to go talk to T, so you stay over there with T. Like, I'm happy about these drinks and all, but like, you're not finna talk to the whole group just because you bought the whole group drinks now, baby. You ain't finna do all that, okay? So we end up going to the to the section now. And he has a bottle, like he has an Azul bottle, like a big Azul bottle at the section that like was damn near not even touched, on some real shit. So we're like, oh my God, like what, like how come y'all didn't drink the Azul bottle? And he ends up telling us that they popped other bottles and the Azul bottle got brought out like towards the ending when the guys were leaving. And he said that he didn't even know the guys like that. I think he said he had met the guys like somewhere in the city, and they all like chose to come to the club that night and pop bottles, you know? So he said that they ended up leaving or whatnot, and you know, so he was like, we could try to kill the bottle together. I'm looking like, we ain't killing nothing, baby. Bitch, I ain't even killing a fly. Like, I'm already told up, like, y'all, this boy bought us a lot of shots. Like, he bought us a lot of shots, okay? So I'm looking like, it's no way in hell that I'm about to finish more shots from this bottle. Like, I'm tore up. Like, y'all, we were tore up at this time, right? Like I told you guys before, we got to the club late. Like, we got to the club at like, I think the club closed at 4. We got to the club at like 2 something. By the time we ran into Ayo and everything, it was like, I'm gonna say 3:15, 3:20-ish, right? And I'm gonna say the club closed at 4 a.m., right? So I'm just looking like, it's no way that we're killing this bottle. Like, we're already drunk. Like, all of us are drunk. It's no way that we're killing this bottle. So Ayo ends up going to sit on the ending of the chair with T, and me and Awole, we sit together and we're just chilling at this point. Like, you can tell the club is dying down, more like, you know, people are leaving. We're just chilling, we're just talking shit, we're laughing, we're chilling, like, we're just doing our own thing. Y'all know there's people that come around the clubs that take pictures and then charge people for pictures. They come to Ayo and T and they end up taking pictures of them, and then they ask Ayo, does he want to pay for pictures? And he's like, yeah, sure. So Ayo ends up purchasing pictures for him and T. They took so many portraits together. It was very cute. Like, when I say it was very cute, it was very cute. It was very lovely. Like, I thought the pictures were so cute. So the club ends up leaving off or whatnot, and Ayo is trying to get us to take shots. So we're taking shots and stuff like that. We're taking more shots. But you know, at this point, I'm not really like trying to take any more shots than the shots that he gave us, because I'm just thinking like, we about to go home. Like, it's 4 in the morning. We're about to go home. We're not about to do anything. It's not like we're going to another club. It's the night is done. It's no point of us continuing to take more shots. So we just took that one shot from the Azul bottle, and that was that, right? So he's talking to T, and him and T, they're talking or whatnot. Guys end up coming up to us and they're like, hey y'all, like y'all gotta go, like the club is done, like y'all gotta go. So we end up leaving the club, right? So we get outside. As soon as we get outside, we hear a whole bunch of arguing and bickering and screaming and shouting and all this bullshit. So we just all looking, like we're just all looking and we're like, bro, what's going on? Like what's going on? So we just start looking, and y'all, tell me why the security guards of the club were fighting with these, were they Somalians or were they Ethiopians? I think they were Somalians. They were fighting with these Somalian boys. And I'm gonna put and if you guys follow my Instagram, and this, y'all, I be telling y'all to follow my Instagram. Y'all be thinking I'm playing. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like my Instagram is popping on a daily basis. But y'all, some shit be going down on my Instagram sometimes. But I ended up recording a little bit of the fight on my Instagram and posting it. And everybody was sliding up, laughing. They were like, bro, this trip is funny. Like, y'all, I wish y'all followed my Instagram throughout this trip, because so many funny things happened on this trip, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is so fun. I'm enjoying you recording this trip from my Instagram. So y'all should definitely check it out. But I'm gonna leave a little clip on this side here to show y'all what happened. So so they end up fighting the security guards, and one of the security guards punched one of the Somalian boys in the stomach. So we're laughing, y'all. Like, me and Awole, we are laughing so hard, y'all. We thought the shit was funny. Mind you, we're drunk, y'all. So we're laughing so hard. Mind you, me and Awole got our cameras out like we on the episode of Cheaters, and we caught a cheater. Like, bitch, we got our cameras out and everything. T and Io, they're just looking. They're not laughing. They're just looking shocked. And after we both get done recording, we put down our phones, and as soon as we turned off the recording thing, one of the guys turned around and was like, why are you recording? But he said it to Awole, so Awole got caught. I didn't even get caught. Mind y'all, I was the main one recording the most. Awole wasn't even recording as much as I was. Bitch, I was laughing and everything recording. If you guys watch the video, y'all gonna hear me laughing and everything. But bitch, he channeled all his anger towards Awole, so I thought that shit was funny. So he's going off on Awole, like he's in front of her face and he's speaking Arabic. He is going he's going off on Awole. He's like, and I know some people about to be like, that's racist, you didn't say the stuff correctly. Y'all, I am not in no way, shape, or form trying to be racist. I'm just, y'all know I don't know the language, but I'm gonna just say, let's just say he was like, he's just like going off. And so Awole's like, hey, get on my face. And if you guys watch Awole in any of my videos before, y'all know Awole talks really fast. So like, he's in her face and he's like, oh, and Awole's like, get on my face, get on my face. Like she's talking so fast and she's like, get on my face, get on my face. And so I'm laughing, y'all. Like, the shit was so funny. Like, everything was funny from the fight. Like, everything was funny. So y'all, this awful night that I had turned into one of like the best nights in the city. Like, it was such a hilarious moment. Everything was just so funny, y'all. Everything was so funny. Mind you, in Morocco, if you guys watch our story time in Morocco, they try to make the tourists ride taxis. And the reasons why they try to make the tourists ride taxis is because they just call out different prices of different numbers, and you have to take it, because they do have Uber in Morocco. It's not called Uber, but it is illegal to pick up tourists in Morocco for Uber. It's illegal because they want the taxi guys to make their money, so they make you drive taxi, and they say any number that comes to their head. Like, they were charging $20 for a 5-minute drive, and $20 in Africa is a fucking scam. Okay, so Awole's lashes ended up falling off in the middle of the trip, and y'all would have thought that we went to fucking California or something, y'all. We were doing a lot on this trip, y'all. We were doing a lot. Awole's lashes ended up falling off on the trip. This bitch that went on TikTok and found a Moroccan lash tech. We then went and got our lashes done. Mind you, my lashes didn't fall off. Sorry, it's a lot of noise outside, y'all. My lashes didn't fall off, but my wispies fell off. Like, y'all know, if y'all get a wispy set, y'all know the wispy sets are longer than the regular lashes. Majority of my wispies fell off, so it was no longer looking like a wispy set. It was looking more so like a regular, like, you know, volume set. So I went and laid on the table too, and got some more wispies done. And throughout the time period of us being at that Lash Tech's studio, she ended up putting us on the Uber from Morocco. So we were always, from that time on, we were using Uber instead of using taxis. And the Ubers were so cheap. They were like $3, $5, like they were so cheap. So before we left the club, she ended up calling the Uber driver. But because of the fact that we're tourists and it's illegal for us to ride in the Uber driver was not parked in the front of the club. He was parked like further down. Like, you had to walk like a good 2-minute walk. Not 2 minutes, like a good minute walk to get to his car. So he texted Awale on WhatsApp and he was like, hey, I'm in the such and such car. I see you guys. I'm waiting on y'all. Because Awale described how we all look. And he could see us from afar, because after the Moroccan security guards and the Ethiopians got done fighting, me, Awale, Ayo, and T, we just went back to talking about the situation, and we were just laughing. We just thought the shit was funny, right? So I guess the Uber driver seen us from across the street, and he told Awale, I see you guys. And the Uber driver was so nice, y'all. Like, he told her, I see you guys. When you guys are ready to come to the car, y'all can come to the car, take your time. He was so nice. Like, most of them Uber drivers, I'm not gonna say they were nice. We got some nice Uber drivers. We got some mean ones. Not mean ones, but like some like antsy ones that was a little scared of like driving us in the car because it was illegal. But for the most part, like, he was so nice. He's like, bro, which Uber driver you know is gonna say, I see you guys, take your time? They gonna be like, come on, or I'm leaving, or I'm canceling, or I'm gonna make you cancel this ride. Like, come on, you know what I mean? We're just sitting there and we're just talking, y'all. Like, mind you, we're just talking. Mind you, I didn't even know that the Uber driver was here. Awale didn't even tell us anything. She's the one that ordered the Uber. I didn't even know that the Uber driver was here. So at this point, I'm laughing. Like, I'm laughing at Awale. Awale's like, bro, that shit not funny, because we're talking about the guy who got in her face. And she's like, that shit ain't funny. Why he didn't get in your face? And I'm like, cause bitch, he didn't catch me. Like, what do you mean he didn't catch me? So we're just talking about the situation. Everything is just funny. And Ayo ends up start talking to me. So me and Ayo, we end up having a conversation. I don't even know what he was talking about, but I could tell that he was really drunk at this time. I could just tell he was drunk, and he just started yapping, and he's just talking anyhow, and he's just talking, y'all. And like, he ends up, mind you, that club, you know, in the States, I don't know about you guys, but in the States, they like keep the bottles that you don't finish. But that club, you could take the bottles home. So he got the Azul bottle in his hand, and he's just talking, and he's like, yeah, are you gonna come and visit me in the UK? Like, he's telling me that. He's like, are you gonna come and visit me in the UK? Like, are you gonna come and visit me in the UK or whatnot? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come with T. And he's like, yeah, I want all of y'all to come and visit me, this and that. He's just yapping. Like, he's just yapping. And then he tells me, he's like, I'm going on a plane tomorrow. I am not gonna be able to take this bottle with me, because the Azul bottle, y'all, was still very much full. Like, that Azul bottle was very much still full, and it was a big ass bottle. It was a big ass Azul bottle. So he's like, I'm not gonna be able to fit this in my luggage. You can have it, you can have it. And he ends up giving me the bottle, right? So I'm like, really, Ayo? He's like, yeah, you can have it. I don't want it. Like he's just talking, and like, I could tell for a given fact that he was trying to flex in front of me. But bitch, I don't give a damn. You can, if you want me to have it, I can have it. You feel me? So I didn't care about whether he was not flexing, anything. Like, he gave me the bottle, I can have it. So I'm holding the bottle, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Ayo. Like, thank you so much. And he's like, yeah, you can have it. Like, it's nothing to me. Like, you can tell, like, mind you, with his accent, he's like, it's nothing to me. You can have it. Da da da. Like, blah 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 blah. He's just talking. So I'm like, whatever. So we end up talking to the Ethiopian boys, the ones who got into a fight. So we end up talking to the boys, and we're asking them, like, what happened. So they end up telling us, like, what happened. But at this time, Ayo ends up talking to me. So I didn't even hear what they were, like, I didn't even hear what they were telling us. So they're just telling T and Awale kind of like, not the full story, but they're kind of like talking about what happened to them. And Ayo is just speaking to me. And he keeps asking me, like, am I gonna come to the UK? And I'm like, why is he asking me this? Like, it was just so weird. Like, it was so weird, y'all, because you went to go talk to my friend. Like, when you first approached us, you approached my friend. You didn't approach me. So why are you worried about if I'm coming to the UK? Like, why are you worried about if I'm coming to the UK? Like, it was just giving very much weird energy and everything. And like, he was just in my face, y'all. Like, I kid you not, he kept stepping in front of me, and I'm like, Ayo, back up. Like, I had to tell him, like, back up, Ayo, like, you too close to me. He's like, my bad, you know, I just want to make sure you come now. I want to make sure you come when I want to make sure that you come when I visit you, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bring tea. Like, I keep adding tea in the, mind you, me and T, we ain't going to the UK to see Ayo. This boy was not cute, y'all. Like, he was not all that at all. Like, he looked like a typical fob Yoruba man. Like, he was not cute. But like, you know, I'm just trying to add tea in the mix on some, like, trying to remind him who he stepped to in the beginning. Like, he ain't stepped to me, you stepped to T. And granted, when Ayo came to talk to T, he did not see how I looked, because my back was turned to T and Awole, because I was still irritated about that situation with the girl who bumped me. So by the time I turned my back to them, he was already talking to T. So I don't think that Ayo has seen me, but like, he was doing too much, y'all. Like, he was dead ass low-key trying to, like, basically say that he does not want me to come with anybody else but myself. And I'm looking at him like, I'm not, first of all, we're not coming, period, but like, cut this shit out. Like, whatever shit you trying to, like, formulate in your head, cut it out, because you can't have both of us. You can't even have one of us, so cut it out. Like, it was just giving weird, right? So we're talking to the Somalian boys, and one of the Somalian boys, y'all, as I'm editing this video, I'm noticing that I keep intertwining between Ethiopian and Somalians. I'm so sorry. I don't know what they were, y'all. I don't know what they were, but I know they were East Africans. So if you guys keep hearing me say Somalian, Ethiopian, Somalian, just know that they were, I'm talking about the East African boys. Looked at me and Awole, and he has the audacity, because mind you, they're asking us like, oh, where y'all from? And we're like, Texas. This boy has the audacity, and I don't know where they were from, because they did not live in Somali. They didn't live in Somali. I don't know where they were from. But they lived in the States or whatnot. But this boy looks at us and says, oh, I guess they were right when they said everything was bigger in Texas. They were wrong. Bitch, I'm looking at him like... So I said, what did you say? Because, like, what did you say? Like, he was basically trying to make fun of the fact that me and Awole was big. But, and I know some people gonna get mad at it, but I don't give a fuck. If you dish it, you can take it. Me and Awole was dead ass about to say, and I guess they were right about all the Somalians fucking their cousins, because y'all all look alike, big ass heads and all. Oh, keeping it in the family. Okay, but if I said that, I will be wrong, right? If I said that, I will be wrong, right? But, you know, we ain't say all that. We wasn't trying to start no fight or whatnot. But, you know, I was just like, and I don't know if you guys notice, but a lot of Somalians, and it's not just Somalians, I think Ethiopians do that too. I'm not sure. But a lot of Somalians sleep with their cousins, I think. They sleep with their cousins and stuff so they can keep the wealth in the family. And so, yeah. So, bitch, I would have been wrong if I said that, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So please, please, please keep the fat jokes at a minimum. Cause bitch, I hit below the what? The belt, okay? And I had to tell him, I said, babe, keep the jokes at a minimum. I said, because once I get to going, you ain't gonna like it. I told him straight up, like, keep the jokes at a minimum. And so, like, he's like, no, that's not what I meant. I meant that y'all got fat asses. Like, he trying to switch up the tune, talking about he meant that we got fat asses. No, that's not what you meant. You meant that we're fat, okay? And you know, the fat joke is cool and all, but when I get to spilling, don't get sad, because I'ma come with more than fat jokes, okay? I'ma tell you that your mom fucked her cousin, okay? So calm down. Calm down. At this point, you know, I'm not really feeling the conversation no more with them because I just feel like they forced or whatnot. So they continue to talk to T. Mind you, T, she's skinny, so they weren't really talking about T. They were more so talking about me and Awole. I don't even think that Awole caught the joke. Awole didn't even catch the joke because she kept saying, what did they say? What did they say? Like, she didn't even hear them. But I ended up telling her later on what they said because I didn't even want to repeat it. Because if I repeated it, I knew I would have got mad and I knew I would have brought up the incest joke. I knew I would have, and I knew it would have just went left. So I just kept quiet, and Ayo went back to talking to me. So they're talking to T and Awole at this point. I kind of like tune out of the conversation, and Ayo's talking to me, and Ayo, we start talking about God for some unknown reason. So we're talking about God, and he's listening. I'm lecturing him about God. He's listening. And then after we get done talking about God, the boys start talking to Ayo. So at this point, I'm kind of not really talking to anybody because I didn't want to talk to the boys after they made that comment. Like, I felt like that comment was so out of line. It was only one guy who made the comment, but like his friends started laughing. So after that, I just didn't want to talk to none of them. But because one of them started talking to Ayo, I had no choice but to sit and like just look at everybody talking, because T and Awole were talking to one of the boys, and then one of the boys were talking to Ayo. And so I was just there. Like, I'm just there listening to everybody talk amongst each other, right? Ayo is behind me at this point, and after one of the boys get done talking to me, why did Ayo grab me by my waist and like hump me? Y'all, he humped me. I kid you not. He like grabbed me by my waist and like he brushed his body up on me, like his dick. He pushed his dick up on me. And I was like, whoa. Like, y'all, at this point, mind you, this is his second time getting behind me. So he got behind me in the club. I let it go because I'm like, you know, he probably was just trying to get a dance out of me. And, you know, I rejected him by like, you know, moving to the side and dancing on Awole. But bitch, we not in the club no more. I don't hear no music or nothing. Why the fuck is your little dick on me? Like, why are you on me? So when he humped me, I said, hey, chill. Like, I had to tell him straight up. Y'all, bitch, he jumped. Bitch, he jumped. I had to tell him straight up, like, the nice girl act went out the door. I don't know if he thought, oh, she drunk, she gonna go for everything, for anything. No, bitch, I'm not going for nothing. You feel me? Chill. So I stepped back and I said, hey, chill, chill. And he jumped and he was like, oh, my bad, my bad. And I was like, don't touch me no more tonight. Do not touch me. And he's like, oh, okay. So at this point, I already knew that he wanted me. I knew he wanted me, and it was just weird. Like, it was mad weird. So we're talking so we get back to talking, right? Not me and him, but like the whole group get back to talking amongst each other. And Awole's like, come on, y'all, let's go. The Uber driver, he's waiting on us, and you know, I don't want him waiting all night, because at this time it's like 10 minutes had passed by. The Uber driver was still there, and he was so nice, y'all. Like, let me keep reminding y'all, he was so nice. Like, he did not text her and say, hey, you need to come on or anything. Like, he was so nice. We end up start walking towards the Uber, like, you know, walking towards the area where the Uber was, and the Ethiopian boys are walking with us to the car. And oh my goodness, y'all, one of the Ethiopian boys ends up tripping, because y'all know them concretes that, you know how the sidewalk has regular concretes, but there's some concretes that are broken, not broken, but like fucked up, and like one of the concrete sits up higher than the rest of the concrete, and if you don't look at it, you can trip over it. He ends up tripping over the broken concrete and falling so badly, y'all. Like, when I say so badly, like, this boy, I'm surprised he didn't go to the hospital that night. That's how bad the fall was. Like, he busted his head up on the concrete to the point where like he got up, and like when he got up, he tripped again and busted his head again on the concrete. And I'm just like, like, it was bad, y'all. Like, when I say it was bad, it was bad. Like, bad. It was embarrassing because everybody was outside. Like, people were still lingering outside from the club and talking. And when he fell, it's like the whole outside got quiet and just stared at him. Like, it was bad, y'all. It was really, really bad. And so he gets up and it's silent, and this is all I hear. He did fall, Lord. Yeah, he fell. He fell. Bitch, I looked to my not right. Why is it Ayo laughing? I'm like, y'all, I'm like, where did we find this nigga? Like, where did we find this fool? So when he starts laughing, like Aule starts laughing, and like I'm not laughing because I don't find that funny, and I don't want that bad karma on me. All jokes aside, like that boy, like, and I know some people might be like, okay, you're exaggerating. The way that boy hit his head, he could have died. I kid you not, he could have had internal bleeding and he could have died. That's how hard he hit his head. I didn't find that shit funny at all. And regardless of him dying or not dying, I don't want that bad karma on me that I go out in public and I end up falling because I was laughing at somebody's kid falling. So God like, oh, you want to laugh? Okay, bet I'm going to make you fall too one day. Nah, I do not want that bad karma on me. So Ayo is literally laughing so hard. And I'm guessing because he started laughing, Aule started laughing too. And I'm just looking at them like, I don't find it funny at all. So his friends end up going to help him up. They're helping him up. He's getting up really slowly. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, I'm talking to him. I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, like, but you could tell that he's not okay. Like, you could tell. So I'm like, are y'all gonna take him to the hospital? Y'all, I'm dramatic AF. I'm a very dramatic girl. Like, I hope my boyfriend is ready for how dramatic I am. I'm very dramatic. I'm a dramatic babe. Like, if anything happens, we gotta go to the hospital. So I'm like, are y'all gonna take him to the hospital? And the boys are like, no. And I'm like, he's hurt, and they're like, he's good, mama, he's good. So mind you, while he's getting up, Ayo is still doing this. He's like, hey. He's just laughing, and I'm looking at Aule and I'm like, it's not funny. Like, I'm telling her like, it's not funny because I didn't find it funny. Like, I just didn't find it funny. Like, that boy could have got hurt. And so she stops laughing, but I'm not gonna tell him it's not funny. I don't know him, and honestly, I don't really care. So at this time, we're like, okay, let's go to the Uber for real, y'all. Because after like that, like 15 minutes had passed by, and I'm like, okay, this is bad now. Like, we got this guy sitting here on the side of the road waiting for us. Like, let's go, right? So we end up going, and bitch, why when we walking, we see Ayo walking with us. Now, I'm looking confused because I'm like, why is Ayo walking with us? But I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking, oh, maybe he walking us to our car and, you know, he gonna, you know, skip to the Louvre after it's all said and done. But bitch, Ayo is walking with us like he's walking with a purpose. Like, the way Ayo was walking with us, it's like he knew he was getting in that car with us. And I was so confused, y'all. Like, all jokes aside, I was so confused. So we end up getting into the car, and T ends up getting inside the car. Aule ends up getting in the front of the car, and Ayo is like, let me get in the middle. And I'm like, wait, you're coming with us? Like, I told him, I'm like, you're coming with us? And he's like, yeah. Mind you, Ayo did not stay in the same resort as us. He did not stay in the same resort. Keep that in mind, y'all. He did not stay in the same resort as us. So I'm like, wait, you don't stay in the same resort as us. Like, what are you gonna do when he drops us off at our resort? He's like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, Shy. I'll figure it out. He just kept saying that with his UK accent. I'll figure it out, like his UK African accent. He's like, I'll figure it out, Shy. I don't know how they say it. I don't know. But he's just saying that he'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, well, you need to tell the Uber driver before you figure it out. Like, tell the Uber guy. And in my head, I'm like, I don't think the Uber guy is gonna allow that. You know what I mean? I'm like, go ahead and tell the Uber guy. So he ends up telling the Uber guy in Google Translate, because mind you, none of these Uber, not none, I'm not gonna say none, but majority of our Uber drivers did not speak English. Like, it was a lot of Google Translate going on, right? So he ends up typing in the Google Translate and telling the Uber driver that he is not going to our resort. He ends up giving the Uber driver the name of his resort, and he ends up telling the Uber driver, can he make a stop, that he's gonna pay the Uber driver extra, and he's also gonna pay for our tab as well. So the Uber driver's like, yeah, like, that's fine. Mind y'all, might I add, remember I told you guys, the Uber driver was very understanding. I know that if it was another Uber driver, he would have been like, no, like, I'm not doing that. But he was like, yeah, like, that's cool, that's fine. As we're in the car, T and Ayo, they're having their conversation. Ayo is low-key being rude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's low-key being rude because, you know, Ayo paid for their pictures. They had like a whole bunch of different Polaroid pictures. And T's like, you take half, I take half, you know? He's like, keep it all. Like, he tells her straight up, keep it all. And she's like, what the fuck? What do you mean keep it all? And he's like, I don't want them, keep it all. And she's like, that's rude as fuck. Like, why you don't want them? And he's like, because I don't want them. And I'm just like, Oh my God, this nigga is weird. And in my honest opinion, y'all, I feel like Ayo, how can I say this? I feel like Ayo was being rude because of the simple fact that he wanted me and I didn't want him. Like, I did not want him. T didn't want him either, okay? Let me just put that in y'all's head. T did not want his ass either. But if I was T, I would feel some type of way too, because of the simple fact that you came to talk to me. You paid for pictures with me and took pictures with me. Their pictures came out so cute. Like, if y'all didn't know them, y'all would have thought they were a couple. Their pictures came out so cute together. And for you to say keep all the pictures and then be like, he just was trying to flirt with me and talk to me before we got in the car, and T kind of peeked it a little bit, you know? So T was trying to tell him, like, that's rude. Like, that's rude as fuck. And he's like, how is that rude? How is that rude? I don't want the pictures. I don't want the pictures. And she's like, okay, I'll keep them then. Like, I'll keep them, right? So at this time, he ends up looking at me. Mind you, I was sitting in the middle of us. So he ends up turning to me. Mind you, I got the Azul bottle in my hand. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm like, yay. Because I know that we're going to need the bottle for tomorrow. Because at that resort, they were being weird as hell at that resort. This was an all-inclusive resort, meaning that all the drinks were free and it was unlimited drinks. Tell me why when we got to that resort, they were limiting our drinks. They were like, after 2 drinks, you can't drink no more. I'm like, this is not an all-inclusive resort then. You know, he gave me the bottle. I was happy because I'm like, yes, we got like a bottle. You know, we don't have to worry about going downstairs to get drinks. Like, we got a bottle we could pregame with before we go out tomorrow, you know? So I was staring at the bottle. Bitch, I'm staring at Ayo like, why you staring at the bottle you gave me? So he's like, on the second note, I want the bottle. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm looking at him like, what? So he's like, I want the bottle. I want the bottle. And I'm like, why? And he's like, give me the bottle now. I want the bottle. And I'm like, why do you want the bottle? And I know some people about to be like, girl, that was his bottle. Like, you should have just gave it to him if he wanted it. But I was so confused as to why he wanted the bottle, because he literally said that this was his last night. So why do you want the bottle? Like, and why would you give me something and then take it back? Like, it was just so weird to me. So he's like, give me the bottle now. Give me the bottle. And I'm like, okay, you can have the bottle. Like, I end up giving it back to him. So I'm like, all right, you can have the bottle, but why would you give me something and then take it away? Like, it's given that you was trying. And I told him straight up, mind you. Like, I told him straight up. I said, it's given that you was trying to flex and trying to give me the bottle. But then now all of a sudden you really thought about it. It was like, wait, that's a lot of money that I just gave to her. And now you want the bottle back. I said, if you was going to do that, then you should have never gave me the bottle. I said, I didn't ask you for the bottle, babe. You gave me the bottle. And so he's like, no, it's not that. I wasn't flexing. I wasn't flexing. I just really thought about it. And I was just like, why would I give you a bottle like that? Dad, you don't even know how much I spent today. I spent so much on y'all. He said, I bought y'all all those shots. This is and that. I'm like, okay. And I'm very thankful that you bought us all those shots. I said, but as I said before, nobody told you to offer me the bottle. Like, don't try to guilt trip me talking about all the shots you bought us and all this shit. Like, don't do all that weird shit, because I didn't ask you for the bottle. You offered it up. So he's like, he's like, do you not know how much money I had? You can have the bottle. You can have the bottle. Like, he starts giving it to me in the car. Y'all, mind y'all, I'm drunk. I'm drunk as hell. So mind you, if I was sober, I probably would have been like, don't give me that bottle. Leave it alone. But y'all, I'm drunk. So when he hands me the bottle, I'm like, yay! So I'm like, yay! And I'm like, don't do it again, Ayo. Don't do it again. Like, I'm over here at his head like this. I'm like, don't do it again, Ayo. Don't do it again. So he's like, yeah, I got money. I got money. You don't know where I work. This and that. Like, he just flexing. And I'm like, that's cute and all, but don't do it again. Don't do it again. So we driving, right? We're driving. I see him looking at the bottle again, y'all. I see him looking at the bottle again. So I'm like, do you want the bottle? Because it's like, I'm not about to keep playing these tit for tat games with you. Like, do you want the bottle or not? Like, stop doing that. Like, that's weird. So I'm like, do you want the bottle? You keep looking at it like, do you want the bottle? So he's like, it's not that I want the bottle. It's that I'm really thinking about it. And, you know, you're really being entitled. He starts saying, I'm being entitled. He's like, you're really being entitled. He said, I gave you the bottle back. And instead for you to say thank you, you're here telling me not to do it again. That is my bottle. I bought that bottle with my own money. And on top of that, I bought y'all a whole bunch of drinks and a whole bunch of shots. And I even took you guys to my section, and you're being ungrateful. Like, he's just running his mouth a mile a minute. So I'm like, here, have the bottle. I end up giving it back to him. I'm not about to fight with you over a fucking bottle, a cheap ass $22 bottle. I know for a given fact, how much is an Azul bottle? I know it's not $22, but I know for a given fact that he paid more than $22. I know he paid a lot of money because he went to the club, but I'm not about to fight with you over a bottle. Like, we're not gonna do that. Like, I'm not about to fight with you over a bottle. Like, it's not that deep. Have it. I don't care. So I'm like, here, take your bottle. Mind you, I have it in my hand and I'm putting it in his lap. And he's like, no, I said you can have it. I said, I don't want it because I'm tired of talking about the bottle. Now, at this time, mind you, like, Owl and T, they're just looking at us. Like, they're looking at us go back and forth. Because, like, I'm beginning to get a little annoyed. I'm not going to lie to y'all. And I'm beginning to sober up. And I'm beginning to become a tad bit annoyed with him. And so I'm like, have the bottle. I don't care. And he's like, no, it's not that. I'm like, have the bottle. Like, have the bottle. Like, I don't care. Have the bottle. Like, I don't care. I'm not about to keep fighting with you over this bottle. And I'm literally repeating that to him over and over again. And he's like, it's not a fight. It's not a fight. I don't give a fuck if it's a war. Have the bottle. I don't care. Have the bottle. So we pull up to the resort. And I know the Uber driver is happy, y'all, because we was talking loud as hell in that car. Like, we were yelling and everything in that car. And I know he was happy. So we end up pulling up to the resort. And like I told you guys before, doing Ubers doing Ubers as a tourist is illegal. So when we tried to get into the resort, they weren't letting the Uber driver in because it's illegal to do that. So they basically was telling us that we have to step out the car and walk into the resort, telling us that we had to do that. So at this point, we're saying bye to Ayo, and Ayo's like, can I have your Instagram? And I'm looking at him like, so the girl that you pulled to talk to, you don't want her Instagram, but you want my Instagram. Now, I'm not saying this out loud, but I'm really just looking like, why would you ask for my Instagram? Like, Ayo did not care, y'all. Like, this boy, he was a true Yoruba demon. And if you guys are African and you guys, if you guys are Nigerian and y'all know, they say Yoruba men are very demonic. Like, Yoruba men are very demonic. And if you guys are watching Love Island UK and y'all are watching Ayo, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, they are so demonic. Like, they do a lot of tomfoolery. So when he asked me for my number, I mean, not for my number, for my Instagram, I'm really looking at him like, why would you ask me for my Instagram but not T? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, okay. So I'm like, are you asking all of us for our Instagram? Like, I had to emphasize that because I'm like, no. Because, like, I could even see T looking like, this nigga weird. Like, and like I said, let me re-emphasize it. T did not like him, but it's still weird. It's still weird in my honest opinion. It's still weird. So T was looking like, and I'm like, are you asking all of us for our Instagram? And then he's like, yeah. I'm like, no. So I'm like, okay. So I end up putting my Instagram in his phone. And then T ends up putting her Instagram and Awale ends up putting her Instagram. And he's like, okay, ladies, it was nice meeting y'all. Like, he's just talking. And he's like, for real, I'm going to follow y'all. And y'all should definitely follow me back. And when y'all come out to the UK, I'm gonna take care of y'all. Like, I got y'all. And we're like, okay, bye, Ayo, bye. We're telling the Uber driver bye. He's telling the Uber driver, it's okay, I got them. Like, you can legit hear him saying, like, I got them. It's okay. Like, they don't have to pay. I got them. So we're leaving, right? So mind you, when we put our Instagram in Ayo's phone, there was no connection outside the resort. So I don't think Ayo followed us for real because none of us got a follow from him that night. And there was like no connection. So I don't think he ended up even following us. So I cannot even tell you guys it's his Instagram even if I wanted to because I don't think we ever got it to begin with. But we end up going in. We're talking shit about him because I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I wanted that bottle. Like, y'all, I wanted that bottle. I kid you not, I wanted that bottle. So I'm like, bitch ass, I wanted that bottle. So we're upstairs and we're talking and T's like, bro, I think he liked you. And I'm like, yeah, he did, definitely. And we're just talking shit about, not talking shit about him, but we're just talking shit and we're just laughing at the whole entire night, y'all. Like, the night was fun. Like, the night ended up being super duper fun, from the fighting, from the boy falling. I mean, that wasn't funny to me, but like I said, the night, everything was just fun. Like, everything was fun. So we're just talking about it and we're talking about Ayo, and I'm like, Ayo is so weird. Like, we're just talking about how weird he is. I was just telling them he acts like a normal Yoruba boy. Like, he's weird. And I was just telling them, I'm like, he was definitely flexing. And I told them too, I remember telling Awale, I said, he's gonna wake up in the morning and be upset because that boy swiped his card like crazy. And I don't know about y'all, but when I'm drunk, I swipe my card like crazy. And I know that's what type of timing he was on. I know he seen bad bitches in front of his face and he was trying to flex. And that boy was just swiping his card. Like, he bought us so many different shots. And like, one shot at that club was like $14. And he bought us like 10 shots. On top of that, he bought bottles. Like, I know for a given fact that Io was gonna wake up in the morning and be like, well, what did I do last night? You know what I mean? So we're laughing about that and everything, and it's just funny. So we end up going to bed, and me and Awale end up waking up early in the morning, because early in the morning they go to the middle of the streets in Morocco and they do their prayers on the microphone. So it's really loud, like the whole neighborhood can hear it. So we end up waking up from that noise, right? So we're up in the bed and Awale's looking confused. Like, she's on her phone and she's looking mad confused, but I'm not thinking anything of it, right? And I see her and she's going to Google Translate and she's translating things, and she's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, she just keeps saying what the fuck, and I'm like, what? And she's like, bro, read this. So she ends up going to Google Translate and I'm reading a long ass paragraph. So the Uber driver this is a funny story time, y'all. So the Uber driver ends up texting Awale and ends up saying the master didn't perform. Oh my god, that is so, I don't know why that's so funny. That shit is so funny. So he texts Awale and he's like, the master did not perform. And Awale's like, which master? Like, which master? Mind y'all gotta understand, like, it's a language barrier. So yeah, like, it's a language barrier. So he's basically saying that somebody did something bad. But I don't know, the master didn't perform was so funny to us. Like, we were laughing so hard. We had just woke up, we were laughing. We're like, who is he talking about? So he ends up saying Ayo. He didn't say Ayo's name, but he said the gentleman that was in the car. So he says the gentleman that was in the car. Y'all, let me tell you what this fool did. So the Uber driver ends up telling Ayo how much the price was gonna be to drive him to his resort, because his resort was like not far from ours, but it was like the opposite way. So he ends up telling Ayo how much it was gonna be for him to drive him to his resort plus our resort. And Ayo tells him, that's good, like, I got it, that's good, just drive. They get to Ayo's resort and the Uber driver ends up waking Ayo up. I think Ayo was asleep in the car, and he ends up waking Ayo up and he ends up telling him the total. And Ayo's like, why is it that much? The Uber driver ends up telling Ayo, remember, I added their tab. You said you're gonna pay their tab. I added their tab and your tab. That's why it's that much. Y'all, tell me why Ayo's like, I'm not paying for them. And the Uber driver's like, what? Mind y'all, they're doing this shit in Google Translate. They're typing to each other in Google Translate because the Uber driver don't speak English. So the Uber driver's like, what do you mean you're not paying for them? You say you're gonna pay for them. And he's like, I'm not paying for them. So they end up pulling up to the gates of his resort. And the guy at the gates of his resort speaks English. So the Uber driver ends up speaking in Arabic to the guy at the gates. And the guy at the gates end up telling Ayo, you need to pay the tab that you pay for whatever girl's tab that he's talking about, plus your tab is such and such amount. He keeps saying that you need to pay such and such amount. Y'all, tell me why Ayo starts screaming at the guy at the gate saying, I'm not paying that fucking money. He's kicking at the door. He's screaming, y'all. He's acting a fool. Like, when I say a fool, he is acting a plummeted fool at the gate. He's kicking, screaming, everything. He ends up getting out of the car. He ends up kicking and putting a dent into the Uber driver's car. He kicks the Uber driver's car. He says, I'm not paying that fucking money. I spent all this money tonight. What makes you think I'm gonna pay for them? You should have never even made me pay for them. Why would I pay for them? I don't even know them. I just met them today. And y'all, Ayo just walks into the resort and doesn't pay his tab. He left. He went into the resort, he went to his room, and he didn't pay his tab. So now the Uber driver is telling us that we need to pay. I'm like, I'm like, bitch, I'm like, we ain't paying. So me and Awale are like, what? Like, and I said, oh, like, I told you, like, now I'm talking my shit. I'm like, I told you that nigga don't got no money. I told you that nigga spent too much money. And it's crazy because I said that the night before and it happened. And I said, I told you that nigga was gonna sober up and be like, what did I do? He was spending so much money in the club, y'all. Like, he was spending racks. And I know from that little drive that he took from the resort to his resort, and that boy Io slept in the back of his car, I know when that boy woke up, he was a little sober and he came to his senses. It was like, wait, why was I spending money like that? And I know he just started flipping out because ain't no way. And I knew he was gonna do that, but I didn't think he was gonna do it that soon. I thought at the very least he was gonna pay for our tab and his tab and then wake up the next morning and be like, oh shit, like I spent way too much money last night. For him to do that the same night was crazy. So now the guy is basically just telling Aule that we have to pay the tab, and he's basically just telling Aule we have to pay the tab. And honestly, y'all, we feel so bad. Like, we honestly feel so freaking bad because that Uber driver was so nice. Like, I know I keep saying that over and over again. I know I keep saying, like, emphasizing that, but I really want to emphasize that was one of the nicest Uber drivers that we had in the city that whole 2 weeks. From that whole 2 weeks, he was so sweet. So we felt bad. Like, we honestly felt so bad. He was an older guy too. Like, he was kind of like on the older side. We felt so bad. So we ended up telling him that we're gonna go to McDonald's because the McDonald's in Morocco was, it was chef's kisses. It was so good. So we just kept going to McDonald's. There was a McDonald's that was like down the street from our resort. So we ended up telling him that we were gonna go to McDonald's that day and that he should come and pick us up and that we will pay for how much it costs to get to McDonald's, plus, you know, we told him we'll pay our tab. We weren't gonna pay his tab, but what we told him was that we would give him a big tip, and it worked in his favor because he never added the route of the boys' resort to the app. So he would have not got in trouble for coming to get the boy. If you guys get what I mean. The only thing that he would have got in trouble for was our tab because he actually we put it on the app. Like, he accepted our ride. So we told him that we will pay for our tab and we'll tip him. And then also pay for however much money it takes him to go to McDonald's. The Uber rides to McDonald's were like $2. They were cheap. But we were going to give him like a tip of like 10 or 20, right? So he ends up telling us that he doesn't work that day. That day he said he don't work. And we're kind of looking at him like, well, you shit out of luck, because that day that we woke up was our last full day. Like, after that day, that was it. The next day we were going back home. So I'm looking at him like, bitch, you better work today. Like, beggars cannot be choosers. You better get in that car and come and get us. Like, and Awole was trying to tell him, well, we going back home tomorrow, so I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, he's telling us, he's like, well, can I come and get y'all tomorrow and like, you know, before y'all leave? And Awole's like, no, like, we ain't going nowhere tomorrow. We going back home tomorrow. Like, we ain't going nowhere tomorrow. Like, this is it. You can only come and get us today. And he's like, well, I don't work today. And he's just doing, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to tell him. Because it's like, we trying to accommodate you and you telling us what you do and what you don't do. We done already told you that we going home tomorrow. So it's either you come and get this money today or bitch, you never see us again. Like, I don't know what to say. So I was like just telling him we leave tomorrow. So the only day that we can do whatever you want us to do for you is today. And he just stops replying. Like, he just stops replying. So we just like, fuck it. So we carried on with our day and we ended up going to McDonald's. We just called another Uber driver or whatnot. And we called another Uber driver and we just continued with our day. And we ended up telling T what happened because T was asleep when we found out what happened. And T's like, bro, that nigga is crazy. Like, we're just talking shit about Io. And we're just like, Io is sick, bro. And I said, I told y'all, like, Io is one of them niggas that try to, like, flex his money when he really either A, don't got it like that, or B, regrets flexing it later on. Like, Io is one of them. Like, Io flexes his money in front of people and stuff like that. Then later on, he gets mad at how much money he flexed. And that's literally what happened. Like, he flexed his money too much. And when he came to his senses, he was not happy about that, and he took it out on the Uber driver, and I felt so bad for that Uber driver. So we end up continuing on with our day and stuff like that. And tell me why the Uber driver comes at night and it's like, where's my money? And I was like, I don't know what to tell him. I'm like, girl, don't reply to him. Like, even though I feel bad for what happened, we already told this man that the best time to come and get us was at such and such time, and he said that he don't work today. So how else is he gonna get his money? Well, we gonna wire transfer him $10? Like, how else? The only way that he would have been able to get that money was through cash. We told him what to do and he didn't want to do it. Like, why is he still texting saying, where's my money? Like, don't reply to him. So I would just open it and didn't respond. This man started blowing up her phone, putting like question marks and like, where's my money? Where's my money? Like, he just kept asking her, where's his money? And we were just laughing, like, not laughing at him, but we were just laughing at the whole situation. Like, the whole situation was funny. Like, the whole situation was just bad, you know? And that's pretty much the story time, y'all. Like, that's the story time. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this, but yeah, that boy, yeah, I don't know. And like, every time me and I will like talk about that, we always be like, the master didn't perform. Like, that shit is funny. Like, I don't know, that shit was funny. Like, I don't know why he called him a master. Like, that shit was funny. Like, that shit was just funny. And I don't know if Io's watching this. I'm pretty sure Io's not watching this. But Io, if you're watching this, you're a fuck boy. Like, you're a fuck boy. Like, you're weird. Like, you really could have just paid the tab, bro. You're weird. But yeah, y'all, if you guys like this story time, y'all definitely give me a thumbs up. I'm so happy to have you guys back. I'm so happy to be talking to you guys again. Definitely expect more videos this month. I love you guys, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.